Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome back to the program. The presidency has clarified a statement by the World Bank President, Jin Kim, that President Muhammadu Buhari asked the bank to focus its development efforts on northern regions of Nigeria. The president is not the only one making clarifications on the matter. The former vice president of the bank, who is also a former minister of education in Nigeria, Obi Ezekwesili, is reacting to the story. She's doing that in a series of tweets. In one of those tweets, she said, and I quote now, "I want everyone to know that a statement made by the president of the World Bank is not as it sounds. I should know I was VP there." Let's continue the conversation now on the program. Mr. Adesina is the spokesperson to President Muhammadu Buhari and has been talking to us from our Abuja studio. Let me quickly take you on this one. We've had a lot of people talking about this, and you know too well just how divided we may be when it comes to ethnicity and religion in this country. For a lot of people who have this perception, and perception sometimes it's a lot of things. A lot of people who have this perception that the president is perhaps sectional in his treatment of some issues. And what is the presidency doing to rectify these issues that looks like a major one?
Well, you talked about perception. The fact that you called it perception itself does not mean it is necessarily 100% reality. It's a perception. But then we know that perception matters. But one thing we must realize is that the president has a pan-Nigerian mandate. The way the country is structured, the way our constitution is, no president can emerge without winning a pan-Nigerian mandate. That was what the president won. So it's not easy for you to then accuse a president and sustain it that he is sectional. No, it's not possible. If he was sectional, he would not be elected in the first place.
Mr. Adesina, is the president aware of some of his statements made by Nigerians, some of those who voted him into office, that is sectional in some of his handlings? It may not be the person, but they say he's sectional in some of his dealings.
Well, if they say those things, it does not necessarily make them right. That could be allegations, that could be conjectures, but it does not necessarily.
But is the presidency making efforts to correct those notions? If you have 4 children and 1 or 2 of them believe that you love one above the other, wouldn't you, as a father, for example, try or make efforts to show that you love all your 4 children the same way, or in the same manner, at the same rate?
Making an effort to show will not be the right thing. I think it's better to just continue to do what is proper. And that is what the president is doing. He will continue to do what is fair and what is just and what is equitable.
Okay, maybe I should ask you this direct question, Mr. Adesina. Do you think that your principal has been fair to all of the regions of the country in terms of his appointments so far?
As much as possible. And he defended that in his meeting with the Southeast stakeholders today. As much as possible. You
talked about the fact that...
Let me give you an...
Go ahead, please.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example he cited. When the stakeholders raised the issue of appointments, they first talked about the security agencies. And he told them that was an area to be careful with because their competence, seniority are very, very important. If you undermine those, you could be undermining the entire security architecture itself. Then, when they talked about other positions, he pointed out to them that of the 5 southeastern states, 4 of the ministers are full ministers. But in the north, core northern states, Sokoto, Kaduna, Katsina, he mentioned all the 7 states. They have ministers of state. Even his own state, Katsina, has a minister of state. Kaduna has a minister of state. Sokoto has a minister of state. These are states that you think will have full ministers. But from the Southeast, 4 of the 5 ministers are full ministers.
Mr. Adesina, quickly before, because I still have some issues to throw to you right now. In some other areas where some Nigerians are of the opinion that, well, the presidency may have these bias in his handling, is a fight against corruption. For example, the SGF report has been with the presidency for several weeks, submitted by the vice president on the grass-cutting controversy, and the money is found in the luxury apartment in Ikoyi, linked to some of these issues linked to the former NIA boss and also the suspended SGF. Where is the report? The question is, when will that report be made public and the action of the president or his decision made public?
As soon as possible, as soon as practicable, as soon as the president is done with that report. Like I've said a number of times, the president is a very meticulous person. He would not punish the unjust. He will not punish anybody unjustly, rather. And the report came in 6 volumes. Of course, there's an executive summary, but knowing this president, he will read that report page after page. And when he is done with studying it, he will come out with his pronouncement.
Because you said that perception, and the question will be, soon might be next year, soon might be 2020, because a senator of the APC actually said, when it comes to corruption within the presidency or within the surrounding of the president, is being treated with kid's glove or with deodorant, but if it's outside of the presidency or within the presidency environment, it's been treated with insecticide. This is from the APC, showing that, again, perception of corruption perhaps is not is not a good one for a government that says they want to fight corruption. Mr. Adesina.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion, and the person who said that has a right to his opinion. It does not make it the gospel truth. It's just an opinion.
Okay, I will take this with you. I want to take you on this. Please, I'd like you to quickly tackle this question quickly as much as time can permit us. For 2019, a lot of people believe in the APC and have told me and have discussed with me that it seems that the political leadership of the party has been a very big problem. Has the president realized it? Have you told the president about somewhat the political crisis in the APC? Where is leader?
It's not only the APC that has crisis within its fold. Almost all the major parties do. But then the ability and the capacity to settle those crises between now and election time is what will matter. I believe the party will sort itself out before the critical time.
What a time. I still have loads and loads to ask you, but Mr. Femi Adesina, that's how far we can go on the program. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi Adesina. Always a pleasure having you talk to us on the program. Mr. Femi Adesina is the spokesperson to President Muhammadu Buhari. Everyone, that's how far we can go on the program, and that's a Friday edition. That means we'll see you again on Sunday. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye for now.